Hello, with your CIGTV News Update, I'm Donna Bush. Thanks for joining me. We begin with the latest news from the Agricultural Department and the Ag Society. The Cayman Islands Agricultural Society has received a government grant that has enabled them to purchase and import a herd of 60 cows. The handover took place on Monday, and now local farmers will have the chance to purchase the animals to supply beef to consumers.
This will offset the demand in 2017 and onward, because we know that December, Christmas period is always the busiest for local beef, and I'm sure that the calves and cattle has been fattened and prepared and ready for local consumption already. So the question is, what happens after this Christmas? So that's what these are for.
Ahead. And Mr. Smith also talked to our crews through the process that takes place once their herd of cows was purchased.
We had to locate the cattle, and then they would go into isolation period for 30 days. All right, and then during that period they would have to do some tests, sort of similar to our physical that we would do on a yearly basis, and then after that they would be the results would have to come to the Cayman Islands. We would have to apply for import permit from the Department of Agriculture, and basically they would review and approve or disapprove the process if they were satisfied with the results, and after that basically we would have a period that the animals would have to be in the Cayman Islands. So basically all of the animals had to be tested and isolated from all of the animals in the US for that period. And then in addition to that, what we have done is, between the society and the Department of Agriculture, is we have isolated them for extended period to make sure, because we have a fragile environment, and the Cayman Islands is very small. Sometimes we forget and think that we are so large, but we are small. So if we import any diseases or anything, it could wipe out the remainder of what we have. So that what we basically took precautions with the department and isolated them for an extended period.
The government grant to purchase the 60 cows totaled $112,000. Now funds raised from the sale of the cows to local farmers will fund another shipment of breeder animals in 2017. Well, the Cayman Islands Airports Authority recently held an annual public meeting on hazardous wildlife. The working group took place on Monday at Beacon House on Airport Road, right next to the fire station. At the meeting, current and new measures used to alleviate hazardous wildlife at the airport were discussed. Those who attended also had the chance to speak to airport personnel and ask any questions they had about wildlife control measures and deterrent practices. In other news, teenagers from the Youth Flex radio show and the Cayman Islands Cadet Corps joined forces to flip the switch on negative stereotypes during the first ever Youth Flex Flip Challenge. 29 youngsters took part in the Touching a Life, the first in a series of community service challenges intended to share the positive impact that Cayman youth can make locally. The group spent the day painting their house and tidying the yard of East End senior citizen Elizabeth Bodden. Supervised by officials from the Department of Youth Services and the Cadet Corps, the team spent a total of 9 hours on the project. Just in time for the Christmas season, materials and refreshments for the team were sponsored by MLA Arden McLean, Miracle Brokers International, and several of Miss Bodden's East End neighbors. Mr. James Miles explained these are the kinds of projects that allow young people to shine and to challenge stereotypes, and we're thankful for all the young people who came out to help. Well, if you missed today's news update, you can get all the details on our Facebook page as well as our YouTube channel. For now, I'm Donna Bush, as always, thanking you for joining me, hoping you'll do the same again tomorrow. But until then, I wish you a wonderful and, of course, a very safe night. See you back here again tomorrow.